Yeah, no, it's definitely been a tough week for me too. Like, man, I got to go to Casa Grande this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so that's gonna be a rough one.
That's a hell of a drive.
Oh yeah, it is, but it is what it is.
Huh?
Anyways, though, welcome back, old head and the youngin, episode I believe 34.
Yeah.
Yeah, we doing okay. No progress. Next time. Next time.
Slow and steady.
You know, one thing I did feel bad about. We kind of didn't touch on a couple things on our last episode when we were talking about accountability. I was thinking to myself, dang, I actually meant to talk about that too. Specifically, the two I had were being in content creation and working for yourself slash just going to work in general. Like, because I'll start off with just work in general. It's a problem with people my age and younger. They almost don't want to work anymore.
Yeah, I think COVID kind of fucked that up,
Oh, it did.
you
It
know,
did. It
because
did.
it's, during COVID, it was like everyone got to work from home and,
Mm-hmm.
people got accustomed to
Yeah,
doing
they
that.
got
So it's like
comfortable.
now nobody
Yeah.
wants to go to work anymore. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, they got comfortable. Uh, I will say this: like, I'm glad that I kind of got instilled in me, like at a young age, to be like a hard worker. Now I have had to tone down a little bit because I haven't learned. There is such thing as being too dependable, and jobs will take advantage
oh,
of
I
that.
learned that early.
Yeah, yeah. I probably didn't learn that till like a couple
Shit.
years ago.
I learned that having a job as a high school kid. It's like when you show that you can work quickly and efficiently,
Mm-hmm.
then they're gonna come to you for everything. Oh, he can get it done. We'll ask him. Oh, he can get it done. I'm
Exactly.
like, man, you get tired of that shit. It's just like, why is everybody throwing all of their bullshit on me to do? I mean, that's been, you know, a thing where it's like you start to. I learned actually in the military how to do that, how to work smarter, not harder. Where it's like you work and you do what you're supposed to do, but when as to quote one of my NCOs, when it ain't shit to do, you don't do shit. So it's like
Hey,
when
I
you
like that actually.
when you finish what it is that you need to do, you disappear
Yep.
somewhere and you don't be out in front of nobody and you kind of do what you do.
Oh yeah. Hey, I don't know. No, I mean at the end of the day, it's kind of just like I'm a firm believer in at your job, give 70% if you really can. Now I understand that's not going to work with some people. Some people do need to give their full 90%.
I would say if you're capable,
Yeah,
just
that's why I say if you can,
you do like that 70-30
yeah.
split where
Because hey, I was telling my lead at my job because we had a couple guys off site. He's like, "Hey man, we can't be sparing none of these guys." I'm like, "Oh, don't worry, man. I'll raise my 60 to a 90%. We'll be fine." And he looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, "Oh, I'm serious, bro. Like
yeah,
my 60% is better than most of these guys' 100%."
and most people even with like easy jobs like the stuff that you do,
Oh
it's like they treat it like it's back-breaking manual labor,
oh
and it's
yeah,
just like, come on, dog, like
yeah. Well, it's funny too because I've been telling a lot of the guys at my job, like, with me owning a detailing business, and then on top of that, working on Divergent Being, I tell them like, bro, like y'all don't know what it is to work hard yet. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say nobody knows what hard work is until you like have to do it yourself with like your own company. I'm not gonna say that because not everybody needs to be their own boss. That's just not for everybody. And let me just say this: I'm getting tired of social media trying to preach that everybody needs to be their own boss. No, not everybody does. That's not for everybody either.
nah, that you couldn't be more on point with that because
But hey,
there's people that I know, mainly girls, no offense to y'all, but they want to be on this whole boss bitch, whatever. I want to do my own thing, be my own boss, but they're not dependable. They're dependent. And it's like you can't take care of yourself normally. You still rely on mommy and daddy to do everything for you. You still live with them, most of y'all. So it's like, how you gonna be your own boss? It's like you can't even take care of yourself. Like you can't even move out of your parents' house and take care of yourself,
Well,
but you're gonna be your own boss.
I'm
I'm
gonna
like,
say this:
that doesn't make sense to me.
the whole moving out of your parents' house, every situation is different, especially now.
Well, no, I'm talking about these specific people
Okay,
that I'm talking
I'm
about.
just checking because I'm like, bro, to be fair,
Because
it's hard for anybody to move out now.
oh no, that I agree with that.
To
But
be fair,
but we talking about these women are like my age.
oh,
And it's just like, bruh, like what you talking about? Like you still live at home with your mama, and it's like you come on now.
well, it's kind of like because to the women out there that are doing it on their own, which two that come to mind are my homegirl Jen and her sister Jay, the one that took me to Japan with me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, those two, I still look at them as inspirations in terms of being a business owner because I've literally watched them from the start and seen what they're doing now. So I will always give those two their flowers.
Oh no, women. I'm not saying that all women
No,
are like
I
this,
feel you. No,
because
I feel
there is a whole lot of women out there that have, that are in cosmetology industry, estheticians, and they run their own businesses and they do very well. But they have to. I bet you that all of those women that do, they know how to fucking take care of themselves. They're not still having their mom and dad pay their bills and not out here being adults. You know what I'm saying? Like most of these women have children, they have family, and they're out here doing it. So it's like those women, we give them all the credit in the world.
And young Wesley,
Mr. Davis.
It's like that's the one I really like. I really try to appreciate him when it comes to being a business owner because he hates it when I tell him. When I tell him all the time, like, bro, for one, like your time management is terrible. Like,
but Wes is a kid, bro.
Exactly.
So it's like he still hasn't quite grown up.
That's why I'm always in his ear, though. Like, I tell him all the time, you're gonna hate half the stuff I say, but I'm telling you this for your own good because I truly want to see you succeed.
I mean, I'm pretty sure he was, he kind of felt like that when he hung with us at SEMA. That's the first time I'd ever hung with him.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, I was in his ear with shit like, hey man, like, you still young, but when you grow up, this shit gonna have to stop.
Yeah,
like you gonna have to
understand.
You gonna have to change some shit up a little bit,
he got mad at me when I told him, bro, you like to sleep too much for one.
Yeah, that nigga do like to sleep a lot.
He's like, bro, you'll learn real quick.
Like nah, bro.
It's all on you. You don't sleep very
often. He's but he's like I said, he's a kid. Exactly. He still has a lot to
like when I be telling you like how it is on the back end of all this stuff, like bro, I tell you all the time, like I wish you could just see what I go through on a day-to-day basis, whether it's physically or just mentally, because you would think I was crazy.
I started to kind of learn once we started doing this. Because I'm always thinking about, okay, well, what are we going to talk about next week? Like, should we talk about this, talk about that? Well, this shit happened. Maybe we should talk about this. It's always something.
When said party got mad at us about, so we talked about, like, episode, dang, I don't even remember the episode. See, that's my point, though. It's like, they're expecting me to remember what we talked about. And I'm like, bro, we recorded that episode in like beginning of April. It's July. How am I supposed to remember?
Right, it's like we do this shit every week.
I'm like, bro, it's just like we try to. So it's like,
it's
bro,
like, come on, dog.
Do you know how many projects I could honestly have done in that amount of time? of course I'm gonna forget what I said right there. And I told him, keep in mind, I'm not saying I didn't say it because clearly you heard me say it. But it's like, how are you gonna expect me to remember that?
Right. I was just like, we do this shit on a regular basis. And we're always coming up with new
Exactly.
shit to talk
So
about.
it's
So
like,
I'm
see,
just
you
like,
get it.
I'm not gonna remember nothing that
Or
far back.
when I had Tim on the Ikigai experiment, and he said like when he first started podcasting, like he was really like learning, like, oh, so this is what it's like kind of being your own boss. Like you got to set up this, and this. Like even right now, like I just started setting up stuff for the Drinks and Kicks basketball special that we're gonna film in September. Like literally, like having to like text this person, text this person, text this person, get my camera guys, like make a guest list, like make sure that this is what we're gonna discuss and all that. Get the location, like bro, like it's a lot. So that's why I tell everybody that wants to get into this, content creation stuff, especially like time management is almost the number one thing
Sure.
that you have to have. Like even I kind of have made a kind of pact with myself. I want to start this thing where I make at least one creative video like bi-weekly, just to start. Not only to A, kind of get content on the page, but B, it's also a way for me to learn and get better at my craft. Because if I'm not progressing, then we're not going to go anywhere. Like, if I'm keeping it a buck. So I said, okay, let me start doing that and then just gradually build it up. Like, heck, I'm even thinking about bringing back the vlogs on my own personal channel just to kind of just keep something going. So,
I always thought about trying to do something shit like that,
tough,
but I don't know, man. I'm just such a like I don't like a whole bunch of people in my shit.
Well,
so it's like when I'm thinking like vlogs, I'm thinking about like the vlogs of how it was back in the day where you see like the cats with the camera and they're like walking through the mall talking, hey, we're gonna, do, whatever, or we're gonna go here, do that. And I'm like, I don't feel like filming myself like walking around a mall. It's like, why the hell do I need to be filming myself do that? It's like
well, I'll put it to you like this, because we had this discussion inside, your favorite. I want to feed them internet niggas doing stupid stuff.
That's just, I mean, no, I'm just not one of them type of cats that puts all of my shit out there like that.
I understand that. And I'll put it to you like this. What's the number one thing I always tell you?
That they see what you want them to see.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's how you have to keep it. Now, for one, there are some people that I feel tell way too much in their stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Like, it's kind of like the whole... Some of these, like, YouTubers, these car YouTubers, like, for one, I don't feel like I should know where you live. But that's more so a minority.
But I mean, most of these people that do this shit got money, so
exactly.
That's like they live in gated communities.
But even like, then, I still feel like I should not know where you live.
It's just like, it ain't like we gonna go out to their house. You know what I'm saying?
For safety reasons, I still feel like I shouldn't know that.
Well, no, I feel you. I mean, because I'm the same way. Like, I don't want nobody to know where I fucking live. So I mean, that's me.
Now, like you like in terms of these people doing stupid stuff and all that. Like I told you, like I'm never doing that. Like, better yet, let me say this: I'm not gonna ask you to do something that I wouldn't do myself.
Right.
Because I'm just a firm believer in, if I'm not going to do it, how can I ask somebody else to do it? I'm not going to push anything stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't believe it. Like, I want to show my genuine self. I want anybody that's involved in this to show them their genuine self.
Right.
Now, there's a point where I might have to tell you, like, hey, tone it back.
I was about to say, like, you... For those of you guys watching this, the person that you see on camera is really me, but it's toned down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Now, I know y'all, sports fans out there. I know some of y'all know who Kevin Garnett is. I'm basically him. That is how I am. I'm like wild. I say whatever the fuck I feel like saying whenever I feel like saying it. Like I'm pretty out there with shit. So I mean, I kind of tone it down a
Well,
little bit
I
for the
will say I
camera.
do appreciate you have toned it down a little bit because like I'll need you scaring anybody. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But I mean that was really what I wanted to cover, just off of the whole accountability thing, because I like to tell everybody how it is, just in my position. Heck, even in the magazine article I was just doing, which I don't know when that's coming out. I was talking about, question I got asked on there. What's something you want people on the outside looking in to understand? And my answer was, it's tough making stuff that I truly enjoy and hoping somebody else likes.
Yeah.
Now, at the end of the day, criticism, I'm not going to think too much of it, because at the end of the day, if I like it, then that's just, it is what it is. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that it doesn't linger in my head from time to time.
It depends on the criticism.
Exactly.
Some criticism is good.
Exactly. Like, if you're telling me, like, hey, like, I noticed this, try this to prevent that. Okay, that's a total different thing. But if you're just like, this sucks, like, I'm not listening to that. I'm sorry. Especially for somebody like for
Oh
one, your
shit.
username is user0222. Like, for one, I know you just made that account. Like, and uh even on some of our hot takes, like, how many times I've gotten, this is the worst take I've ever seen from user 7205009. Like, bro, did you just make your account just to say that? Like, come on. Like, what, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go get a life. Go get some vitamin D from the sun, bro. Pause.
I was about to say, oh, pause. Get some vitamin D. Fuck out of here.
And speaking of, you know, KG and basketball, for one, Kevin Garnett said Anthony Davis can do everything Joker can do. I expect him to win MVP this year. I'm like, here is my thing with it. He was not wrong. Anthony Davis can practically do everything.
I mean, he's capable of it, but
exactly.
but does he do it?
Here's my thing. KG, he has to stay healthy to win MVP.
That's Anthony Davis's biggest thing,
exactly.
Consistency.
Like,
not even so much health, but consistency.
Yeah.
Because even when he is healthy, he'll have a game where he goes out and he'll give you like 30, 10, and 8. And then he'll come back again, and then he'll give you 11, 5, and 6 or some shit. And and it's like, dog, come on, man. Right. It's like, what you doing? Like,
you okay?
It's like, you need to be consistent. Like, he could come out and give you 25 a game.
Now, I know you see
easy.
James Harden, right?
What about that trade shit?
Well, not even just that. The whole
Daryl Morey's a liar. Yeah, I saw that shit.
Like, truth be told, I'm starting to think to myself, Harden, like, you're kind of just drama queen, bro. Like,
I mean, look, no one likes to be lied to, especially when it comes to business.
Exactly.
If he gave up that money last year to help the team, and he was supposed to get that back, and they don't want to give it to him. So I'm like, I can understand why he's mad.
Oh yeah.
But
don't
at the same,
money.
Right, that's the way. It's like, don't play with that man money, dog. Like that's what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
So I understand why he's upset, but at the same time, it's like, bro, you made your money. You wanted to win a championship. It's just like, if you wanted only to stay for the money, you should have just stayed in Houston. Exactly. You ain't got no taxes. They would have gave you whatever you wanted to stay there. You could have just stayed there, but he wanted to play for championships. Mm-hmm. So he goes to Brooklyn. That didn't work out.
That's why
he goes to Philly, and it's like, dog.
Now, what I still want him on the Clippers, I'm like, if we get him for free, sure. Like, if we don't have to trade anything, sure. But we got to trade something,
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I don't think James would work with y'all.
Oh yeah, I don't think
With
so.
him, Westbrook,
Well,
Kawhi, and
yeah,
PG,
exactly. There's
it's
just
one basketball.
too
It's
many.
one
Yeah.
basketball. It's like that.
Now,
That's too
the
much.
only way I can see it working is either him or Russ has to come off the bench, and Russ ain't going through that again. For one, I wouldn't want Russ to do that because he earned his spot.
I mean, honestly, I could see Russ like if James Harden was to come there, I could see him maybe accepting that because
Yeah.
he's he can run the show
Mm-hmm.
with the second unit.
Well, not even
But
just that
James
though.
Harden, on the other hand, it's like let's just keep it a buck. He's a better overall player
Yeah.
than Russell Westbrook. He can shoot better.
Oh, yeah.
He's a better facilitator.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if it was going to be
versus Russ is a good facilitator, but he's more of an energy guy.
right, exactly. It's just like he's more,
and he's a better defender.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But
so it's
I would say this: if they got it to a point to where their minutes were practically the same, and
like stagger the minutes,
yeah, and they were just rotating.
I think they would do. I think that could work for sure.
That would be the best thing. But I don't know, because that's what I was hoping they would do with Reggie Jackson and John Wall, but John Wall got hurt.
Yeah, I feel bad for that cat.
I know. I still don't like how we did him, honestly, because it's like
y'all could have kept him on that roster.
Yeah,
like
I felt we should have.
I mean, what was he? It won't go hurt nothing to keep him. Let him get his little shine on.
Well,
I mean,
I thought we were just gonna get him right back as soon as he got waived from Houston.
yeah,
but I guess not.
He was supposed to go play in the Euro League, and then he decided not to.
Yeah.
Kemba Walker went to the Euro League.
I saw that.
You see what team he went to though? Bro, he went to Monaco.
Oh.
They just came off like championship. Like they high caliber team. And he gonna go there and he ain't gonna be no bench warmer. He gonna be the star on a championship team. And he get to live in Monaco of all places. And he's gonna be making more money than he would make getting a non-guaranteed vet minimum.
Oh, crazy.
So it's just kind of like, bro.
You're gonna have to pay a lot more for living. But I mean, tax free at the end of the day.
Yeah, Monaco tax free.
Exactly.
So he getting that money. All that money is going right in his pocket.
Exactly.
So he gonna be fine.
He's probably just gonna be living off of the money he earned in the NBA. So.
Exactly. He gonna be fine.
Oh yeah.
He signed like a $4 million. It's like $4 million a season.
Oh. Ooh.
He ain't gonna be making that in the league. Not right now. He ain't. So what you gonna do? Non-guaranteed minimum, or you go over here and make this $4 million? Yeah. Like Shane, do you know who Shane Larkin is?
Oh yeah.
You remember him? Mm-hmm. He was a backup guard.
Oh yeah, I remember.
In the league. You know this dude is in Europe making bank, winning championships. Like he's over there balling. And it's just like these guys, I think Isaiah Thomas should go to play in the Euro League. Yeah. He's good enough.
Point, yeah.
He's good enough. I mean, he's still good, because he wants to play in the league. And you see him play in the G League, and he dominates still. But then in the NBA, it's like he's not enough. Yeah. So it's like he's good enough to play. He's too good for the G League, but he's not good enough for the NBA. It's like, dude, just go. Like right. It's like, just go play in the Euro League, dog. Like, go over there and go get your money, IT. Go get your money, man.
So, football. Which, let me say this. To those I have been talking with, I do apologize. I wanted to get a Drinks and Kicks football special, but last month got busy. That's when I would have wanted to do it, just so that way it could come out now as the season's about to start in September. I'm gonna plan for next season, so I do apologize about that again. But I did watch Raiders Niners. Trey Lance is really looking like a bust. And here's the problem. You see the potential, and then he goes and does something stupid. It's like, bro, throw the ball. Like, he has the same problem Jimmy had. Like, bro, throw the ball away when you're about to get sacked. It's fine. Just don't throw it straight to somebody.
I I just take a dive. If you're gonna get hit, just take the dive. Don't throw the ball away.
Here's my thing. For one, they asked Shanahan, like, what would it take for Purdy to lose a spot, starting spot? And he's like, he basically had to, like, just screw up in practice, like, tremendously. And I've been hearing he's looking pretty good, especially coming off injuries. So,
right, yeah.
My only thing I've been saying with him, it's gonna suck if there's only two scenarios. Either A, he just gets right back to where he was and continues to develop and grow, or the worst case scenario, it was all a fluke and yeah, he just takes.
Yeah, that would suck. Because he was looking good last year up until that injury. So I'm like,
especially like what he did in 5 games is arguably better than most quarterbacks' careers. Like,
yeah.
So
especially nowadays.
Yeah.
Quarterback ain't what it used to be.
Well, how so?
I mean, you just don't have those, like, back in the days, like, quarterback was like the elite of the elite. And it's just like now it's not like that anymore. It's just like most of these new quarterbacks get all of this hype coming into the league, and then it's like they don't perform like up to expectation. It's a little bit less common to see a good quarterback. Like back in the 90s, it was like you had, Aikman, you had Steve Young, you had like Marino in the early 90s. You had a lot of like really good quarterbacks, and they were like elite. And now it's not like that.
No,
even in the 2000s, you had like Peyton Manning, who was, he wasn't the greatest scrambler, but I mean, as far as his game IQ and his throwing prowess, he was up there. He was accurate.
Argue against that. I think the game has just changed so much.
Well, the game is softer now, so it's different.
Not even just with that. It's just like there's more elements in the quarterback position. Like, notice a lot more quarterbacks are more mobile now. Like, you almost
because you ain't got to worry about getting killed. It's just like they don't hit like they used to.
It's not even that though. It's just they're more athletic now.
Well, that's in any sport now.
Yeah,
like
so it's
even
like
more athletic.
Now the whole the game being soft,
but athleticism don't mean that you elite though. Look at RG3. He was a track runner, athletic as fuck, and he was not a good quarterback at all. He could run fast in a straight line.
Also, though, he rubbed the wrong way. So
like everybody was,
they were just letting him get hit.
It's like everybody was talking about this man is supposed to be the next Mike Vick. He could not run like Mike Vick. Was he faster in a straight line? Probably. But the moves, getting around defenders and doing what you do like Mike Vick, he was not Mike Vick. And he couldn't throw like Mike either.
Who would you say are the top 5 quarterbacks right now?
Today?
Yeah.
Ooh.
One, let's just get this out of the way. Mahomes is number 1. Let's just get that out of the way right now.
Kermit.
Yes, Kermit
number 1.
Number 2, I'm going to say Joe Burrow.
Yeah, right today, he'd be top 5.
Number 3, that's where it starts getting tricky.
I mean, you would probably have to put your boy Lamar up there.
Actually, no, I don't. If anything,
he ain't top 5. No, I'm saying in the top 5.
Okay, I'm going 1, 2, 5. Number 3, I'm actually gonna say Josh Allen. Number 4, I'm gonna say
you better not say Dak Prescott.
No. They're going to be bad, but absolutely not. But at the same time, I don't sit here and say like Dak is a trash quarterback. I always say that to piss off Cowboys fans, but no, Dak ain't really a trash quarterback. It's just like he's not elite and he's not bad. He's solid.
Right. He's
I'd say like the year he broke his leg is when he truly could have been elite because the numbers he was putting up was crazy.
Yeah,
and I will give him that.
He was having a good
Yeah.
year that year for sure.
Number 4, I want to throw Hurts in there, but I also want to throw Herbert there.
I would have went with Hurts. Yeah.
Yeah. And then number
Yeah.
5, I'll throw Lamar. But this year really going to tell me about Lamar because now you got a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see.
I think Lamar is probably more like Vic than RG3 was.
Oh yeah, without question.
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is like I hate the game is soft thing because for one, let's put it into perspective.
I mean, it's still football at the end of the day, but it's like,
my thing is though, I'm like, bro, like some of these rules have actually saved a lot of careers. Like,
oh, 100%.
So I'm like, I hate almost calling it soft because it's like, bro, like, let's be real here. Pro Bowl when what was his name that killed dude in the Pro Bowl? Sean Taylor or LT?
Oh yeah, Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, LT.
Yeah.
Like when he killed dude in the Pro Bowl, I'm like, God dang, bro! Like this game don't matter.
Like football, like used to be, like the hits used to be where it was at, but it's like now it's like if you look at the average career of a running back in today's league versus like in the 90s,
oh yeah,
it's way longer.
Oh yeah,
the 90s and the 2000s running back, running back might be good if they get like a solid 5-year career before they started like not being able to play.
That's why it's so impressive to see what Barry Sanders did.
Barry, Emmett, you know, they had long careers, man. And, like you remember Larry Johnson? He played for it was in the 2000s.
Exactly. I'm a little too young.
He played for.
I didn't really get into football until like maybe 2000.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, yeah, that's when he was playing, when he was good, and he played for Kansas City. He was a running back, and he was nice, and his career did not last long at all. Like they ran him into the ground.
Well, I mean, heck, I'm surprised Frank Gore even lasted as long as he did.
Clinton Portis.
Oh yeah.
He lasted a lot longer than people would have thought.
So overall, what would you say about this Niners squad for the year? Since we're both fans,
I think we got a shot. I
think it really just depends on
health, right? If everyone can stay healthy.
For one, Mr. John Lynch, you need to pay that man Bosa whatever he wants. So let's just hurry this up.
Yeah.
Pay that man.
He need the bag, bro. Go ahead and give it up.
Yep. We're just gonna get that out the way now.
I say everybody else locked in though, right?
Till 2026 roughly. So I think we're good.
Okay. So
Fred Warner, I'm not worried about. Best middle linebacker in the league. Let's just get that out of the way. Debo and Ayuk. Debo has to stay healthy.
Yeah.
But from what I've been seeing and hearing, he's been working hard. Ayuk, they've been saying like this might be the breakout year for him. Like they're saying he's playing like top 10 wide receiver in the league right now. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah.
George Kittle's George Kittle.
Yeah. Self-explanatory.
Second best tight end in the league. I don't want to say second because I can't deny Kelsey that number 1. The defense, I'd say the biggest part we lack in is corners, but I mean we've always kind of lacked.
Yeah, I was about to say that. That's kind of been.
That's why it was funny too constant. When I was clouded on Trayvon Diggs. It was like, oh, we better than any quarterback y'all got right now. I'm like, bro, we haven't had a solid quarterback roughly since Dion. He tried to tell me Richard Sherman, but I'm like, bro, Richard Sherman was already like on the decline when he got with us.
Yeah, he was already
out. And on top
of
that, he's a zone corner. Like we typically ran man, so like it wasn't really that effective when he was with us.
Right.
Like he did okay, but.
Isn't he the new guy that's on Skip Show Undisputed? Yeah. I was just like, bruh. I heard
Skip
about
probably gonna walk off. Him and Rachel Nichols. I was glad they had her.
Oh, she's on Undisputed now? Oh. I haven't seen it.
I was glad
since Shannon left.
I still don't like how they did her with ESPN.
Oh man, they tried to make it like she was on some like racist,
Well, here's
crazy
my
shit.
problem. It's like she. There's two sides here. Should have handled herself better with what she said. She probably just should not have said it at all, or should not have said it to where everybody can hear it.
I'll give you
That's
that one.
the only thing I will say. Because what she said, I actually don't think anything was wrong with it because she was just stating a factual thing.
Exactly.
Like
I was like,
ESPN was pressured to basically give Malika Andrews her spot because of diversity.
right.
Which, I'm going to just tell you straight up, I'm not a big fan of Malika Andrews just because I don't really like a lot of her tactics. I'm just not a fan of it, bro. Like, it's like, why are you always trying to focus on the negative with everybody, bro? Like,
Yeah,
Brandon Miller.
Like, Malika is a different kind of journalist.
Oh my god!
So
dang.
yeah.
Like
It took me a little while to get used to her approach, and I'm just like, what?
It's just like, why? Like, why do you need to bring this up?
But like you said earlier, man, pretty privilege.
Yeah.
And it's like people want to see her on TV because she's pretty, so it's like they're gonna overlook all of the little bullshit.
My boy also said, Rachel Nichols also dug herself in a hole with the whole Jimmy Butler situation.
Oh man, come on, man.
I'm like, look, man.
That probably ain't the only. That ain't the only NBA player you see her with.
Oh, who else?
Like, is she? What do you mean? She be around a lot of them.
Oh yeah, obviously.
I'm just like shit. I know she's like super tight with Stack and Matt Barnes.
Oh,
like she's super tight with them too.
Oh yeah, of course.
So it's just kind of like, oh, so she hanging out with them. Does that mean she giving it up? Like, it's like everybody like, oh, Jimmy Butler smash it. It's just like, oh, if he is, she might be. It might be a few other ones out there that's doing it too. Then, I mean, hey, to each their own. I mean, I ain't gonna knock it. That's what you own. But
I mean, hey, it is what it is, man. Now, just going through the schedule real quick for Niners. Week 1, we start off against the Steelers. We got that.
Yeah, that should be an easy enough win.
I'm not too concerned, but I'd be surprised if we lost. The Rams, we got that. I'm not concerned one bit. Giants, I'm a little nervous.
The Giants might be a tough one. Yeah, that might be
because they stepped up a lot. So
they've been on something.
We got that.
So what you think about your boy with the Cardinals?
Sure.
Your man Kyler Murray.
Oh, the midget.
Yeah.
I mean, he needs to get off the Call of Duty. Look, bro, you want to go be a professional Call of Duty player? Just go do that. Go start your own competitive team. Just go do that, bro. Because, I mean, you made plenty of money, so you're good for life.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah. But Cardinals, I'm not concerned about.
No, not really.
Here's the first one. Cowboys.
That's always been, like, the game.
Well, actually, that's not the game for me.
That's like
we just gonna handle business. Like,
no, I'm just saying, just that whole rivalry. It's like that's always the game.
Here's what's funny though. I'm like, yes, they are one of our biggest rivals, but it's like, I just find it so interesting. As much trash talk as Cowboys fans do towards us Niners fans, because I'm like, bro, like, since I've been alive and actually watching football, we've beaten y'all most of the times when it mattered most. So it's like, what room do you have to talk at this point?
I mean, they do got more. I think they got more overall wins, like Super Bowl wins. I think.
No, we're tied.
I thought they had one on us.
No, we're tied.
I don't remember who told me that, but I was like, I thought
we're tied.
I was like, I can't remember who told me that.
Yeah, because Steelers have the most.
Yeah.
followed by us, or is it Patriots? Actually, I think Patriots might be tied with the Steelers now. No. I want to say
Shit,
it's
the way they talk about the Patriots, you would think they had the most, but I know they don't because they didn't even start
yeah.
winning until Brady
I
started doing
want
this
to
thing.
say the Patriots are either tied with the Steelers or they're tied with us and the Cowboys. I want to say
Because I'm pretty sure the Steelers are at the top because
yeah,
they've been winning Super Bowls since like the '70s. So it's
yeah,
like I think they have the most.
yeah, and then Giants have four. Crazy to know too. I saw a stat. Giants have almost won at least one every decade, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of cool though at the same time.
New
Like,
York, they got the Giants that's been good,
mm-hmm.
but then if you look at their other teams, it's like they've been historically shit. Like the Buffalo Bills they're the only team in NFL history to go to
Four
four
times this year,
consecutive Super
bro.
Bowls.
For
How you go to the
what,
Super Bowl 4 years in a row
bro?
and you can't win
And
one?
they don't.
It's like,
I'm
damn.
sorry. You know what? Hang on, I'll say that point for the rest of
That
the schedule. We got 49ers, Browns.
nah, you know.
Yeah, I'm not worried. 49ers, Vikings. I'm actually concerned about that. Jay Jettas, man.
Yeah.
We don't got anybody that can, even contain him. Like, so he's basically just gonna pick us apart. So we got to key in on Kirk. We got to make Kirk uncomfortable.
Right. Yeah.
Bengals. That's one I'm concerned about. I mean, when we beat them, I want to say last year, it was bare.
Yeah, it's tough. That was a tough game.
So, but their defense has kind of gotten depleted a little bit because they lost Jesse Bates, so that's gonna be a factor. But at the same time, Jamar Chase, and on top of that, they actually have one of the elite quarterbacks, so
yeah,
that's gonna be a tough.
That's gonna be a tough one, yeah.
49ers, Jags. I'm a little concerned just for the fact I think there's going to be a breakout year for Trevor Lawrence finally. And, that team continuously does get better each and every year. So
lately, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to have to see. Buccaneers, I'm not too concerned about. They got Baker Mayfield, dog. That's all I'm going to say. I shouldn't be concerned, but at the same time, this is the one team in our division that I have a lot of respect for. And, shout out to our favorite white girl, Gwenda. The Seahawks.
Oh, the Lord.
That's the one team in our division I actually have a lot of respect for because they play us hard every time.
Yeah.
And it is a war when we play them. So that's one team I would never, ever knock. Now, here's the game. The rematch. 49ers, Eagles.
Oh, for us, yeah, that is the game.
Yes. That's the game. Now, let me just say this. I'm not saying we would have won if Brock Purdy did not get hurt. All I've ever said was it would have been an even 50-50.
Yeah, we would have had a better chance.
Exactly.
For sure.
So I just want to prove that, hey, we had a shot if Brock Purdy didn't get hurt.
Oh, well, that remains to be seen. Brock Purdy, if he healthy when they play this time, then we gonna have to see. Heads up.
But it was funny though. I remember during the Super Bowl when Bradbury got called for that holding that pretty much solidified the game.
Oh man!
And everybody was like, "That wasn't." I'm like, bro, I've been telling y'all that the Eagles hold all the time.
That was a bullshit play. I was just like, "Are you serious right now?" Like that call was so ridiculous.
Now here's my problem. Could you say he was holding? Yes. Now, in reality, I really don't think he was. I think he more so just had his hand right there. But it's enough to justify calling.
Right. It was a 50-50 call, but
it's like,
come on, dog.
I really think it's majority the O-line that holds.
Mm.
Because let's be real here. Bosa was on a tear last season, and you mean to tell me he could not get one sack? Like, bro, come on.
A little suspect.
Like, that's all I'm saying.
Little suspect.
So after that game, we got Seahawks again, which I think we're gonna go 1-1 in that series.
Yeah, I would say it'd be a 1-1.
Cardinals again. I ain't worried about that midget over there if he even does play. Ravens. That should be a good one.
Yeah, that is a pretty good one.
And then we got, I'm not calling them that anymore, Washington football team. Just change the name back. Like, look, bro. Like, for one, the Redskins thing, I understand. I understand. Now, when they changed it to Washington football team, it actually kind of grew on me. I was like, I kind of like that name.
That shit was so generic.
I know,
I'm
but it's
like, come on,
better
man.
than the Commanders. I'm like, no.
At least it's a name.
I kind of liked Washington football team.
Washington football team. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Bro,
give them motherfuckers a name.
I actually don't mind that game. And then to cap off regular season, we got the Rams again.
I'd say I'd say that we got like a solid. There's like a solid 4 games that I think that it's gonna be hard.
I realistically
4 or 5.
think we can win at least.
I say because regular season is what 16 games, 17. So I'm
17 weeks, so 16 games.
16 games. So yeah, 16 games. I think we could realistically win at least 12.
Yeah, I'd say 12 to maybe 14.
Yeah,
I think we could do it.
I think we can win at least 12.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we'll see.
Yeah, should be good. Oh, so let me get back to my point about Buffalo. This is the year. If they don't get it done, bro, like, you got to blow the team, bro. I'm sorry. Like, it's a wrap, bro.
Yeah, I mean, at this point.
Yeah, because, like, bro, like, let's be real here. Like, that year they lost to Kermit.
Yeah.
15 seconds left. Like, I can't fault them for that because that's Mahomes, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean they
either way.
Right. It's like they pretty much did what they did what they could.
Exactly.
That was an anomaly right there.
But at the same time, it's like, you know, that's where the whole overtime rules, like, I kind of wish it was college rules.
Oh yeah,
where everybody gets a chance, because it's like, dang, bro, like, the fact that they got the ball and went out there and did what they did, I'm like, bro, like, dang. Like, that was tough to watch too, because, like, I mean, you almost didn't expect it to happen, but then in the back of your head, you're like,
there's always a chance.
Exactly. So,
when Kermit is feeling it, it's always a chance.
Exactly.
It's just like you never know what can happen.
Hey, Kermit on another level,
man. Yeah, Kermit is that dude. I'd give him that. He's that dude right
now. Yeah, I was shocked to see Ezekiel Elliott go to the Patriots. I was very shocked to see that one.
Yeah.
Dalvin Cook going to Jets. I mean, I kind of knew it was going to happen. So wasn't really shocked there. For the most part, everybody else, it's just going to be the best man winning.
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of like your top team, I'll say. Yeah. But I mean, of course, you know, you like me and you were both saying, we're not really football guys, so it's kind of like.
No, I mean, it's like I'll watch it. Like, I was bigger into it when I was younger. You know, like when I was a kid, that's where the whole Niners thing. I was a Niners and not the Niners and the Panthers. Those were those were the teams that I liked. Huh?
Why Panthers?
It's North Carolina. I'm a Tar Heels fan. You know, my grandparents, you know, lived in North Carolina. I used to spend a lot of time down there.
Okay.
So I mean, the Panthers was my team after the Niners.
Ivan from picking Rock. He's a Panthers fan too,
Oh yeah,
mainly because of Steve Smith Senior.
yeah. Steve Smith, and you had there was a couple of cats down there. They had that white dude. Was it Kerry Collins was good back then, the quarterback.
I still remember that year they went to the Super Bowl 50.
Like Cam.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
boss.
Oh,
Yeah,
my cousins was
bro.
in
Here's
on it.
what's funny though. My boss now, me and this dude make a bet every year on either or a championship for sports, and I think I'm 2-0 or 3-0 against him because we bet on that Golden State Toronto finals, and I picked Toronto.
Oh. I think
I picked Toronto at the start of it too. So.
I think honestly, for me, I picked Toronto to win too, and everyone's like, "Oh, but you a KD fan? Why you don't want your man's to win?" Well, first off, my man's is not playing, so if he's not playing, then I don't think Golden State is gonna win unless he plays.
A lot of people don't realize that team was designed very well.
That Toronto team was a deep team, and they were solid at every position. Like they were a good team.
The other one that we bet on was Super Bowl 50, and obviously Panthers had that whole like streak and all that they went on. And I told my boss, I'm like, bro, like you do know this Denver team is the hardest team they're gonna play all year, right? Like they're not winning that game.
I didn't.
Peyton was leaving with that title, bro.
I didn't pick them to win, but my cousins were going crazy. Man, we about to get this out. Like, all right, we about to see.
Nah, I feel it. Goal for the week. I don't think you caught it. I had asked a question based off of Jones Hall podcast, which go check them out, by the way. I had posted this question based off something that they were talking about. If you could do it over, would you go to college or go straight to the workforce? Now, I thought this was a good combo for me and you because you've essentially done both ways, and I went straight to the workforce. So let me ask you, what would you do if you could do it over?
Honestly, it would depend on me. Because fresh out of high school, I know how I was at 18. I don't think I would have took college as serious as I should have. Yeah. I would have been out partying and, doing all of that. I wouldn't have been focused on class and all of the shit that you need to focus on when you go to college. So I think me going in the military after high school was pretty much it was almost like going to college for real. You lived in a dorm. It's like you pretty much had a structure, which is like going to class, but except you didn't have to go, you went to work instead, So it was similar because most of the people that I went in with were like around my age. Yeah. And when you go through your AIT, which is like your job training, it's kind of like school. And you live in a dorm. So it's, I got sort of the experience at that age, but not quite like college, but it was sort of similar. And, I didn't go back to actually, go to college until I was 30. And, as a 30-year-old in college, it was a lot different for me. I was a straight A student in college. And at 18, I wouldn't have been a straight A student. I would have been, hey, as long as I get a C or some shit, I'm good. Like, I'd have been, somewhere fucking off, doing something else, drinking, doing whatever. I wouldn't have been doing what I was supposed to be doing.
I still look at it. Obviously, I'm at the age where if I went that necessarily, like nobody would judge me because I'm still young enough to where like it's more acceptable.
People always tell you that you can always go back.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just something they say just to make you feel better.
I felt that way too. And when I went back at 30, I was like, watch, I'm going to be the oldest nigga in here. Like, it's going Oh yeah, there was a
Yeah,
lot of them in there that were older than me. It was just like, man, I was,
yeah,
I wasn't the oldest one in class by far, and I mean, there was basically half the class was at least my age or older,
yeah,
and I was just like, damn, like they won't lying, like people really
yeah.
do go back.
Well, I still look at it sometimes, and I'm like, I was thinking about it pretty much this entire beginning of the week, and I had kind of made the realization, I still don't regret not going because I've always looked at well, for one, let me explain why I didn't go just because I didn't want to pay and put myself in debt like that.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well, you see the thing they doing now. They pretty much doing, was it like college forgiveness loans, or
I'm
for,
gonna keep it a bug.
you know
I actually don't like that. Food.
they paying off people's student loans and shit.
Well, I don't like it just because I don't think it's fully fair. Like,
I think it depends. There's like certain criteria you have to meet
well,
in
I
order for
I
them to
said it
do it.
should have been
But
done like this. Like, if you're getting like a job that's essential, like you're going to be a nurse, you're going into architecture, infrastructure, cybersecurity, et cetera, like law enforcement. Yeah, I think you should because you're basically taking what you learn and applying it into essential work.
right,
So for that, yeah, I think you should have it forgive. Maybe not all of it, depending on how much it is, but majority of it, yes. Now, if you got your degree in art, no, I'm sorry, I don't think you should fully. And I get it, that's going to be a touchy thing for some people to hear, but let me just say this. A lot of you guys that get these careers, or excuse me, these degrees to hopefully go into careers that aren't guaranteed jobs, that's kind of your own fault. Like, nobody told you to go get your degree in performing arts and all that.
well, you got
Especially,
to think about it nowadays, or and even so in my day as well. People, they treat it like they do marriage.
mm-hmm,
They prioritize the piece of paper over what you're actually doing.
exactly.
So if you get a degree in music or performing arts, like you said, and then you end up being an IT guy, it's like, what good did that even do you? It's like
Exactly.
you're not even using your degree.
Oh yeah, because it's like I say all the time. Like, even talking with my niece and nephew that just graduated high school, I was telling them, like, my niece, I didn't really have to say much because she already knew what she was
Mm.
doing. Like, going into sports journalism, and she's actually double majoring in pre-law. I think she told me.
Oh, okay.
So like she was good. Like, I didn't have to say very much. Slash, I can't tell you much when I didn't go to college.
But I mean,
My nephew, I
she's
had to
doing something that's going to be usable.
exactly.
Yeah.
My nephew, I had to look at him and be like, okay, bro, what are you doing? Because you're not going to college, you told me. So what are you trying to do? And that was a whole conversation. But I explained to both of them, like, if you're going to go to college or, you're going to trade school, which I'm more for trade school. Let me just say that right now.
Trade school, depending on what you
Yeah,
want to do, it's like, it's better.
exactly.
Yeah.
But I
It's, you
told
do
him,
that.
don't get these stupid degrees that don't guarantee you a job. Or if you're going to go get a degree in art, you need to be networking to make sure you have a job already lined up as soon as you graduate.
And that's like, women, I think, have it a little easier because they can go to these like cosmetology schools and esthetician schools and things like that. And then as soon as they get out, it's like they right there in it. It's like because the beauty industry is never going
Oh,
anywhere.
yeah, it's always going to be.
It's always going to be there. There's always going to be these ugly women trying to look pretty. No offense, but it's true. But it's true. Y'all feel me on that. There's
Man,
always going to be these ugly
really
women.
just said,
There's always,
respect.
I mean, but it's true though. There's always going to be ugly women that want to be pretty. So they're going to buy all of the makeup. They're going to do all of this stuff to get their hair done, and they're trying to look pretty. And on top of there's that, the ugly women that want to be pretty. And then there's the old women that want to look young. The old women that want to keep themselves looking young as possible. that's where the estheticians make their money, because they're coming in every week getting all of these expensive ass facials and all of this expensive skincare routine stuff. So it's like the beauty industry is always going to be popping, no matter what age group, no matter what the woman looks like, no matter none of that. They all do it. All women do it. So it's always going to be popping. Same with cosmetology. Everybody needs haircuts. You know, everybody wants, you know, you could do cosmetology, you could be hair, makeup artist, all of that stuff. But, you know, there's always going to be a market for that.
Those are more trades. So.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying. It's like men ain't doing that.
Well, it's like even like me detailing, like, that's a trade. But of course, you don't really have to go to school for it. Like me, I'm all self-taught. Like I've taken a class to like just get certification because people like try to play me and act like I don't know what I'm doing. And it's like, bro, I know what I'm doing. You know what Austin does, you know, rapping, vinyl rap. Like
most people that do
there
that
are
self-taught.
Yeah, but your good ones actually like took classes and learned how to do it. So,
I mean, the same could be said for the women in the beauty industry. A lot of these girls nowadays, they teach themselves how to do all of that shit. So I mean, you got like girls out here now that are like, you know, high school kids, and they already know everything and every step of every skincare. They know, you know, how to, you know, they know how to do hair, nails, all of that.
His daughter just opened up a spot. I think she just graduated, or she's only been out of high school like a couple years. So yeah. So
I mean, shout out to my boy John, man. His girlfriend Stephanie has her own business, and she does hair. And I mean, he says she does really well.
Oh yeah.
Because women gonna want their hair did.
Oh yeah.
Always.
Like my boy Donald in Cali, his wife is actually pretty big on IG. Stacy's braids. Actually just did Contavious Caldwell Pope's wife's braids, I believe, and his braids actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
yeah, it's out there.
Oh yeah. The thing is though, like, you got to go search for the opportunities too. Like that's another thing I stress to a lot of like these kids just going to college. Like, heck, I was just talking with one of my young homies, and I mean, he's already squared away. He knows what he's going to do and all that, going into cybersecurity and double majoring in something else. But I was telling him, like, bro, network. Because I told him, I hate these people that did not use all the resources that were there when they were in college and want to complain, I can't get a good job. I can't get a job in my field that I got my degree in. I'm like, well, bro, are you networking? Like, that's what you're mainly there to do. Network.
All right.
Like, hey, most of the time, you could almost just solely network and not even get that degree. You might actually get a job just because you got cool with the right people.
Yeah.
So it's like I look at myself not going to college, and I'm actually in a pretty good spot because it's like, bro, hey, I've done a lot more than, you know, most people in my family have ever had the chance to do. Heck, some of my peers haven't done some of the things that I've done. I've talked and met with top people in the automotive industry. I'm good friends with a couple of them. And then on top of that, you know, the media stuff, you know, it's a self-taught thing / you know, I meet people that, you know, I network with people that can teach me how to do certain things. And, you know, like, hey, I might actually need your help one day with this. Let me keep you in my back pocket for the just in case. Like, so it's like, for me to sit here and say, like, should I have not gone to college? Honestly, either way I would have went. I still think I would have been okay.
I mean, honestly, I think that it just depends on the person.
Yeah, it depends on your situation.
Because I mean, there is people that have the skills to do things. They go to college and get a degree, and then they either don't use them, or they do something else.
Yeah.
or whatever the case may be. I mean, I know plenty of people that self-taught have a lot of skills, but do they use them? No.
Exactly.
And it's just like, well, what was the point? Like, you could easily go and do this, but you're either too lazy or you just don't want to take on the responsibility. So it's just like you don't want to do it. And I mean, it just all depends.
I will say the only thing I really think I would have went to college for that I would have benefited going graphic design. That's really it. But even then, you can still self teach yourself.
I
Like,
think college, honestly, I think the best thing about college is being able to live on your own, because you have like a lot of people that not. I mean, I know you live at home like with your mom, but it's you're doing it because you're pretty much kind of taking care of your mom, so it's different. It's like you get like these kids that have never cut the cord, and then you see them now, they're in their 30s, and they don't know how to take care of themselves. And it's just like, at least if they would have went to college, they could, college kind of would give you that independence, and the military did that for me. I mean, either way, I mean, I was going to be doing it anyway, but the military was, it gave me a chance to be on my own and like actually have to use, because my parents taught me the prerequisites to being adult as a teenager. So when I did leave home at 18, I already knew what I needed to do. Now, did it stop me from doing stupid shit and fucking off? No, it didn't. But for the most part, I made, pretty good decisions, except for that one time that I spent my entire check in one weekend. That was fucking stupid. But, it it happens. But I mean, for the most part, I knew what I needed to do.
yeah.
Because as a trainee when I was in AIT, you didn't really have to worry about nothing because you had everything there. You lived in a dorm, you had a chow hall to eat at. Everything was basically free. You just had to be accountable for yourself as far as showing up to formation on time, being in class, that type of thing. Now, when I went to my permanent party assignment, that was when it was different, because it's just like, now I got my car here, I got a phone, I got bills to pay. I got, I had to be an adult. So it was like that. I think college is good for that, because when you go away, you're going to have most of your stuff taken care of, but especially if you get a scholarship. But at the same time, you still have to make decisions. Like, you're accountable for yourself,
Right.
because no one's going to come wake you up to go to class.
Right.
So you got to be accountable for yourself, and I think that's probably the biggest takeaway for me of going to college for most kids, is that they have to hold themselves accountable, and they got to go to class.
I do want to stress, like, we're not trying to hate on anybody that did go to college, didn't go to college. Like, that's your business, bro.
No, college is it's a personal decision, man. Exactly. It's just like, if you want to do it, do it. If not, then don't.
If you were going to ask me, like, should I not go to college, I'd tell you, like, it kind of depends, like, what you're trying to do, / are you getting a scholarship, or do you have to pay for
right.
it? Like, there's so many
But I mean, even if you don't get scholarships, there's grants. Exactly. So as long as you keep your grades up,
well,
you get they gonna hook you up.
If I do ever have kids, oh, my kid going to college, but he getting a scholarship. You know why? Because I'm gonna make him play golf. Did you know that golf actually has the most unclaimed Ivy League school scholarships?
Yeah, I did know that. Yeah, I was like, kind of shocked at that.
Look. My kid playing golf. Like,
hey, man, that's just like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. If I ever had a son, which I actually thought it might have happened sooner than later, but at this point, I don't think so anymore. But it's like, if I did have a son, then he was definitely going to be in sports immediately. I was going to start him off at like 5. We're going to be playing everything until you find what it is that you like, and then we're going to stick with that.
He playing golf, bro.
Oh, nah, I'm going to let him pick what he wants to do.
He playing golf. Like,
I mean, he could play that too. He can get that golf scholarship, but he's still gonna be playing other shit. Like
fair enough.
if he wants to, he want to play ball or do something else, then hey.
I'll be like, nigga, you gonna beat Tiger Woods 2.0, nigga.
Well, like we gonna have you like we gonna have you on the greens at 13. Like you gonna be out here with the grown-ups.
Hey, it's like you tell Roy McIlroy to watch out, nigga. No, but I mean, at the end of the day, hey, look, it's your choice if you want to go straight to the workforce, to college.
There isn't a wrong way to do it,
Don't let anybody deter you from what you want to do. Obviously, seek advice. That's the best thing I can tell you. Seek advice.
Right.
Because that's definitely what I did, and I'm glad I did it because it pointed me and I feel what was the right direction. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the most successful dude on earth because, I'm still learning every day. Like, I'm still learning how to be a better businessman. I'm still learning this media stuff. So I can't fully sit here and say that I'm successful, but I feel the path that I chose was better for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be that even if you are successful in whatever it is that you do, it's like you're still going to learn.
Exactly.
You just have to be open to it.
Right.
You're still going to learn.
You got anything else?
Nah.
Sure.
I did, but I forgot what it was now. So I was just like,
like to talk.
I was like, I'll remember it. We'll save it for the next one.
What was the sell?
What you mean? Nah, yeah, but appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. We're gonna be back next week with some more shit. So we'll holler at y'all next week.
Real quick,
yes, nigga.
I need y'all's help. I need this man.
don't even do this.
Nah,
don't even do this right now.
I need this man to build up his social media. I need him to be more active. So go follow him. Go do that for me. Go talk with him. Go let him talk your ear off. I keep trying to tell him. Come on, let's interact more with people.
I mean, hey, nobody ever says nothing to me, so I'm just like, hey, if they do, I'll talk back.
Stop coming at me when you're mad. Like I'm always saying, hey. Most of the time, he be saying stuff mad about me.
It is, hey.
That's all I'm saying. But until next time.